The first half of the 19th century was an exciting time for the tiny village of Nuestra Señora de Dolores de Las Vegas Grandes in the Mexican territory of Nuevo Mexico. The Mexican government allowed overland trade with the United States, previously forbidden under Spanish colonial policy, and the village grew from being a smattering of adobe structures around a favorable river crossing into an important stop on the Santa Fe Trail, bringing industrial goods from the eastern United States into the territory and sending tradable commodities out to be processed to places like St. Joseph, Missouri. Meanwhile, on the far side of the world, the Enlightenment dreams of a new Europe came crashing down. Out of the wreckage emerged new nationalist movements that rolled back the ideas of the previous century's revolutions, and with them dreams of inclusion and stability for Europe's oft-persecuted Jewish population. This situation was particularly bad in the newly minted German states. As the century entered its latter half, the second and third sons of many a Germanic Jewish merchant family did not let go of their Enlightenment dreams so easily. When military conscription became a serious concern, some of these bright, brave, ambitious young men emigrated to the still young United States and found their way down the Santa Fe Trail and other trade routes to make their mercantile fortunes in the wilds of the American frontier. Success often came in the form of obtaining military contracts to provide wool and foodstuffs to the United States Army, and importing work gear and luxuries from industrial centers in the eastern United States and Europe. In this way, the Jewish mercantile trade met the needs of a growing and increasingly prosperous population. In Las Vegas, this included the pioneer Jacob Hecht and his business partner Marcus Brunswick, and the firm of Dittenhofer and Cohen, whose property on the north side of the plaza became the anchor of Jewish mercantile presence there. But the man who perhaps best embodied the Jewish mercantile trade, as it helped Las Vegas find its place in the wider world, was the third son of a respected Jewish mercantile family from Homburg-Vonderhohe, Germany. His name was Charles Ilfeld. Charles and his partner Adolf Lecher arrived in Las Vegas in 1867 with 75 burros loaded with trade goods. They set up shop in part of the Dittenhofer and Cohen property, where the Ilfeld annex of the Plaza Hotel now stands. Over the next 12 years, Ilfeld built himself a reputation for high-quality goods and creative financial solutions to the complex problems of doing business in a barter economy as it transitioned into a currency-based one. With the help of his brother-in-law Max Nordhaus, he found particular success in the wool business that was the foundation of Las Vegas's new prosperity. By the time the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad reached Las Vegas in 1879, Ilfeld was a respected pillar of the community, with a good reputation and good relations with both the older pastoral Hispano population and the newer Anglo mercantile establishment. The railroad brought a new wave of German Jewish merchants that established businesses in the new rail town of East Las Vegas. Among them were Theodore and Sarah Netterberg and their New York bakery, the Rosenthals, and the Teicherts, who themselves would become leading lights in the community as the century turned. The establishment of the Montefiore congregation showed that Las Vegas had truly become a home for many that had traveled so far. The congregation built the first synagogue in New Mexico territory and created a space for the Jewish faith that was well received in the cultural mix of this rapidly growing city. Charles Ilfeld dug his roots deep in Old Town, building his flagship department store, the Great Emporium, on the plaza in 1883. In 3 floors, the store offered everything the heart could desire from the eastern United States and Europe. From Las Vegas, Ilfeld anchored his mercantile empire throughout the territory. As Las Vegas entered its boom years a divided municipality, the Jewish mercantile community, and in particular Charles and his wife Adele, helped bridge the division between the old town and the new. Working through organizations like the Hebrew Women's Benevolent Society and the secular-minded fraternal orders like the Masonic Lodge, they contributed to the establishment and support of the many cultural, civic, and charitable institutions necessary to make a successful city. Adele was particularly fond of the performing arts, and in testament to her passion, Charles built the Ilfeld Auditorium, which remains the cultural heart of Las Vegas to this day. By the dawn of the 20th century, new, more direct transcontinental rail lines supplanted the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe, and Las Vegas started a long, slow economic decline. Many of the Jewish merchants were forced to move operations to Albuquerque, including Ilfeld's sons, but Charles stayed in Las Vegas for the rest of his days, watching over the place he helped carve out of the wilderness as it found its way into a new century.